She walked into the party like she owned the night. Every guy turned, every girl froze. The music seemed to drop for half a second, just to make space for her presence. Dressed in shimmering red with eyes that told stories no one dared ask. About she was magnetic. But no one, not one soul, could have guessed that beneath the lashes, behind that smile, was a secret that could destroy everything. Before you dive in, hit that subscribe button, because the truth you're about to hear is darker than fiction and more real than any fairy tale ever told. You won't believe what she was hiding. The party had been going for hours before she arrived. It was the kind of upscale LA gathering where models, actors, influencers, and CEOs rubbed shoulders in overpriced penthouses, pretending to know each other better than they did. There were champagne towers, neon signs that said things like, "Good, vibes only," and a DJ who looked like he hadn't slept since last summer. But when she walked in, the vibe changed instantly. Her name was Elle Monroe. Blonde waves cascading past her shoulders, killer heels that clicked with authority, and a figure that made silence ripple through the room. Everyone noticed. Everyone whispered, "Is that Elle? Like, the Elle Monroe?" She wasn't just the hottest girl at the party. She was that girl. The one with 3 million Instagram followers, brand deals with Versace and Calvin Klein, and the face that had graced Times Square just 2 weeks ago. But even with all her beauty and fame, Ella had a strange air around her. Like something didn't quite add up. Maybe it was how she never brought anyone with her. Maybe it was how her smile never reached her eyes. Maybe it was how she always seemed to disappear. Just before things got too personal, people tried. They really tried to get close. Jason Mallory, the tech billionaire's son, once sent her a Bugatti wrapped in roses. She returned it with a note, "I don't date children." Madison Rae, the TikTok queen with 40 million followers, once begged her for a collab. Ella ghosted her completely. Even Leo Stone, Hollywood's golden boy, had taken her to dinner, and was seen leaving alone 2 hours later, looking absolutely shattered. At sea. The party Elle danced, flirted, smiled just enough. But the moment someone leaned in a little too close or asked one too many questions, she vanished. No one had ever seen her drunk. No one had ever seen her cry. And no one, not even her manager, had ever been to her place. She was the ultimate mystery. And in LA, mystery sells. Until the night someone followed her home. It started with curiosity. Mark Bennett, a junior producer at a major studio, had a habit of thinking rules didn't apply to him. He'd been watching Elle at the party all night, camera in hand. He wasn't paparazzi, at least not officially. But he knew a good story when he saw one. And Elle Monroe was the kind of story that could buy him a house in the hills. When she left the party early, alone, slipping through the back alley like she always did, Mark followed, discreetly, from across the street. She didn't take a limo or a G-Wagon or any of the usual celeb rides. She walked, for 10 blocks, past the glitter and glam into the part of town where streetlights flickered and garbage cans were tipped over. It made no sense, and then she stopped, in front of an old, run-down shelter. Mark's camera clicked as Elle stepped inside. Confused, he crept closer, peering through the cracked glass. What he saw almost made him drop the lens. Inside, Elle wasn't alone. She was hugging a woman, older, thin, in a hospital gown. There were others, too. A little boy with a missing arm, a teenager with burn scars. Ella was passing out food, medicine, clothes, and laughing. Really laughing. It was like seeing an angel in disguise. Mark snapped photos for 20 minutes, then slipped away. He had enough to explode the internet. But instead of running to TMZ, he drove home and stared at the images all night. Something about it didn't sit right. He decided not to publish, but the universe had other plans. The next morning, Mark's laptop was gone, stolen. He didn't even tell anyone he had photos. which meant someone was watching. Ella knew. She always knew. And what happened next was more chilling than any thriller script he'd ever worked on. 3 days later, Elle vanished. No updates, no stories, no sightings. Her social media went dark. Brands panicked. Fans speculated. Some said she had a breakdown. Others thought she died. One crazy Reddit theory even claimed she was a CIA agent. But the truth came crashing down in the most unexpected way. A small independent news site, one nobody had heard of, posted an article titled, "The Elle Monroe You Don't Know." It had one grainy photo of her holding a bandaged child in a shelter. The article was taken down within minutes, but not before it was screenshotted thousands of times. Suddenly, the story unraveled. Her real name? Elizabeth Morales, her past? Born in Detroit, homeless by 14, abused in foster care, escaped at 17, lived in a shelter, worked 3 jobs, cleaned hotel bathrooms, saved enough for college, got discovered by a fashion scout while delivering coffee, rebranded, reinvented, buried her past under glam, glitter, and a $1,000 smile, and then used every penny she earned to secretly fund over 20 shelters across the U.S. She wasn't just helping them. She was them. She never told anyone. Not because she was ashamed, but because she didn't want their sympathy or their PR coverage. She wanted to protect them. The survivors, the runaways, the lost. Because she had once been one of them. And the world she lived in now, full of filters and fakery, could never understand the raw, ugly truth. But when her secret got out, the world did see, and for once, it didn't judge. It applauded. The hashtag #JacqueRealElle trended for weeks. Celebs wept. Influencers shut up. Donation sites crashed. The world didn't just fall in love with her looks. It finally saw her heart. And then, just when she had the world's attention, she vanished again. No posts, no red carpets, no press tours. Until 1 year later, single video went live, no music, no makeup. Just Elle Monroe sitting on a wooden bench somewhere in the sun. "I'm not here to come back," she said. "I'm here to remind you, beauty fades, likes fade, hype fades. But what you do for others, that stays." She smiled softly. "If you want to follow someone who shows up when the cameras don't. And if you want to know my secret, it's simple. I never wanted to be famous, I just wanted to be free." Then she looked straight at the lens and said, "Hit that subscribe button if you believe the world needs more truth, not filters. Fade to black."